My name is Alessandra Alado.
I'm Haley Tischler.
My name is Dr. Martha Salama.
My name is Michael Moscoso.
Hi everyone, my name is Mufrad Ahmed.
My name is Jefferson Gonzalez.
So my name is Rayson Bernard. I go by Ray.
My name is Simone Snyder.
I'm from Caldwell, New Jersey. I'm a part of the social work club at Monmouth University, and my majors are criminal justice and social work. I would say my advisors could set up like more meetings with me, give me more like outlets of places to go, like clubs, and kind of just like even just setting up a place to like talk with me like as a counseling space as well. I would tell myself that it's okay to be nervous. Everybody gets nervous, especially as like a first generation, first year college student. But I would tell her that she's going to be fine, and the first year kind of just goes like this. As long as you put in the hard work, but you also remember to have fun as well, you'll succeed and you'll just be fine.
I have been teaching for 11 years. I have taught at Kane University, Rutgers University, Middlesex College, Union County College, and now this is my first semester teaching at Monmouth. So during my PhD, everybody was already calling me doctor. Everybody was like, you know, you're gonna get this type of job, you're gonna make all this money. And I was already struggling. The school that I went to, they didn't have enough research opportunity. I needed tutoring. During my PhD, I needed tutoring, and I felt I was a loser. I felt like I was an imposter. And I wish that I had more support during grad school and during my bachelor's to be more prepared for my PhD. And eventually I got through it, but I got through it with that emotional support for me. Number one, be patient with the students. They want to be better, they want to learn, but most of all, they need help, and they may be afraid to ask. So when you approach them, just be patient. You know, they want to be helped, and you are there. You are their, how can I put it? You are their resource. And as a professor, give them more resources, because they will, all you have to do is just email them, all you have to do is just share it in class, and they will utilize it because they may not know. So the more you give, you know, the more they'll appreciate, and they will feel more than just the first generation student. They'll feel like they're like everybody else, and that's what we want for them.
I am a senior, and my major is finance, and I have a minor in leadership communication. The best advice that I can give to any first gen student is that keep pushing. I think that is the hardest thing to overcome, is when you're having a bad day where you don't feel like doing an assignment, you might be a couple days late for an assignment, you know, don't let that be the end of your journey. Just push through. I feel like you gotta build relationships with your professors and with your fellow classmates and with organizations and clubs that can help pursue. You need that support system. You need that family away from home. And for me, that's what I try to do wherever I go. So that's what kind of helped me push through. That's my advice. Find a family away from home. Find a community. The best financial advice that I can get to first-gen students is save as much as you can. In the beginning, I got really fortunate enough to, as soon as I turned 16, to start planning to save for college, and through the help of the support of my mother and my father. But I think also scholarships are very important. Always try to be academically, you know, available, very smart. Look for any scholarship online, ask advisors, and then kind of create a budget for yourself. You know, tell yourself, okay, you're a first-gen student and you're living on campus, you know, you have meal plans, try not to go out and eat all the time. Be like, okay, I'm only gonna spend $100 this week, because when I was a freshman, I wasn't spending really much any money other than Uber Eats, but I was spending too much money. So I think that's what kind of caused me to set me back, but I think if you can budget, tell yourself $100 a week to enjoy yourself, or $50, whatever, just find what's comfortable for you. Since I'm a graduate, in a couple months, I think the biggest accomplishment that I had at Monmouth was being part of LASSO. I always kind of like heard about LASSO. I've kind of struggled away from it, and I think even growing up, I've always been that shy kid, that antisocial kid, and I think stepping into that light of being vice president has kind of given me that opportunity to express my ideas, to have a say in certain events, to contribute to something that was just bigger than me, to bring my culture from where I'm from, Hudson County, and bring it down here, to bring a little bit of spice, to bring a little bit of more bright energy to everybody on campus who might not understand what my music that I listen to, for certain things that I do, the reason why I'm like this, the way that I talk, like that's just part of my culture, and expressing that in any way that I can, I think is my biggest accomplishment. Leaving a little bit of my mark on certain students is the biggest accomplishment that I have.
If there's one thing I wish people would understand or know more about first generation students, is that they come with, just like everyone, they come with a wide variety of experiences. There are common experiences that we all kind of share, common hardships. But one thing I wish people understood is just like, they are essentially the first in their family to kind of go to college. It's a whole new environment that their parents, their siblings might not really be able to help them out and understand, like, here are the tips and tricks of college. They kind of learn on their own. They look through YouTube. They look through so many different methods on what to kind of expect from college, because they don't know. So it's a whole new environment, whole new world for them. Whereas people that had their parents, like older siblings, go to college, they kind of have a little bit of knowledge. They kind of have a little bit of know-how how to go about. But you can't really say the same for first gen. It's a whole new frontier for them, and I'll say that's one of the biggest difference. One of the things I wish people knew about first gen students. Imposter syndrome is real. Imposter syndrome is something I still have to this day. I don't think it ever fully goes away. And the way I honestly dealt with imposter syndrome and still continue to deal with it is really the key phrase is fake it till you make it. A lot of people still are not always confident, but as long as you put on that persona, like you're almost on stage performing, I think it really helps you to gain that confidence until you can really say, wow, I do have this skill to do it. But a lot of times I still, feel nervous speaking in front of large crowds, presenting. Even though I know I have these skills, it doesn't feel real to me. It always feels surreal. And so I always tell people, even if you don't feel confident now, just pretend you are that professional, and it will eventually come to you that you are that person.
So I'm actually a transfer student. I transferred here from St. John's in Queens, New York. I chose Monmouth because of the psychology program here. It's very research intensive, and I knew I wanted to go into doctoral studies eventually after I graduate and get a PhD, so that's why I chose Monmouth. It's interesting because my independent study focuses on the experiences of first generation college students when compared to continuing generation college students, and we look at their sense of belonging on campus. And what we found was that first generation college students have a significantly lower sense of belonging than continuing gen students. I didn't know what a first generation college student was until I came here and I met with my academic advisor, and I found out here in the psychology department that I was a first generation college student myself, and then she directed me to First to Fly. I think it helps connect students who go through similar, really unique obstacles. I remember when I first met with Professor Taylor. I know he's not here anymore, but he really helped me foster a sense of belonging here on campus, and I love First to Fly, and I love that it's being revitalized. One of the things that helps me is continuously reminding myself that I belong in the spaces that I'm in, and whenever I'm feeling imposter syndrome, I see that as kind of like leveling up, you know what I mean? Because life is challenging, and you're supposed to feel that in order to change.
The most difficult thing about being a first generation college student is that families don't understand what college students are going through just because they did not go through it themselves. So they don't understand all of the details of being a college student. They only think about going to class and submitting assignments and going to tutoring sessions, but they don't understand that being a college student, there's a lot more to that. One thing that I think that it's important that in all families, somebody had to be the first generation student. So there's a lot of faculty members, even if they weren't a first generation college student, they went through college. So all you really have to do is ask for help. I do think that a lot of first generation students struggle for asking for help just because within their family, they know that they can't ask their parents because they didn't go through college. But at least at universities, you have so many people that you can rely on and ask for their help.
My name is Denise. I'm a junior here at Monmouth. I'm the current president of the First to Fly Club, and some of my campus involvement includes being part of Greek life. I'm a resident assistant. I'm also the secretary of the psychology club. My role in the First to Fly Club is being their president, and it gives me immense honor to be handed this role because I feel as though I can spread my compassion and empathies to other people in the community. I chose to be the president. This role was originally handed to me by another first-gen student who fully thought that I was capable of everything that this role required. And being in this role has allowed me to learn how others walk all different sorts of life experiences and have different struggles, and the key part about being in this club is really just lending an ear and just kind of being there to support and empower other people. Obstacles that first generation students face is really a sense of belonging, feeling as though you belong in the community. My club has allowed for me to share all of the different organizations that are currently on campus and allow first-gen students to feel a sense of knowing that they can attend various events and really find a sense of community. I think it's important that I took on this role and I'm doing this project because I want to be able to educate others on what a first-generation student is and what obstacles they face that are different from the rest. The best piece of advice that I have for people who feel like they can't continue on, considering the dropout rate is higher for students who identify as first gen, I would tell them to kind of live within their discomfort and know that it's temporary, because once they find their place where they belong, they'll truly be able to help other people find that place as well. And I mean, we all start our college experience realistically lost. It's just a matter of building community and seeking those connections.